What's up, y'all? Welcome to Three Brothers and a Shot of Milk. Today, Rich,
Yo,
if you're not the predator, you're the
you're the
prey.
prey.
Yes, you are, sir. That's what we're talking about today is the prey. We're going to start with our spoiler-free take on the film, and then we'll go into the spoiler zone. You have been warned. All right. Synopsis: the origin story of the predator in the world of the Comanche Nation 300 years ago. Naru, a skilled female warrior, fights to protect her tribe against one of the first highly evolved predators to land on Earth. It's pretty much the movie. But that's the synopsis on IMDb. Uh, Guys, I freaking dug this movie. I liked it a lot. Um, Maybe that's not saying a whole lot because when I look at the Predator movies, only like one is really good. That's it's not Predator. I don't look at Predator versus Alien as part of the main Predator movies, but I thought it was freaking great. I put it right behind the original. What you guys think?
I loved it. I had fun for the entire family. My wife loved it. Sebastian loved it.
Wait, wait, wait,
My
wait,
son was
wait, wait, wait,
my son.
wait.
This is how this movie resonated within my family. After we watched it, my son got all his stuffed animals and started hunting them with his Nerf guns because he was the predator. That's how much he liked the movie.
How is he with? Okay, well, how is he with
Parenting done right.
man? He didn't. Like with some of the scarier moments without
Loved
giving
it.
anything away.
Loved it.
Wow,
Loved it.
fun for
Loved
the
it.
whole
Loved it.
freaking family.
Fun for the family. That's my review.
Nice, Rich.
All right.
Spoiler-free review.
Spoiler-free review. I mean, once you get past the fact that this, 90-pound woman took down a 300-pound.
Hey! Spoiler-free review.
That is a spoiler-free review.
That is a spoiler-free review. Like once you get past that fact, I mean, it's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty good. I need some explanations on a few things, but I need, yeah, it's pretty good. I recommend it.
Jack.
Yeah, sorry. I in the first 7 minutes of the movie, I paused it and screamed. That's my review.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Screams of happiness, I assume.
Oh, so much joy.
We're gonna get this is a movie with zero texture. That's my spoil-free review.
I'll give you that. Let's go right into it. Jumping into the spoiler zone. We open up and we are 1719. The year 1719. I imagine northeast, it feels like. I'm not exactly sure.
It's the Great Plains.
The Great Plains, which is where? I have no idea. I'm terrible.
Midwest.
At geography. Midwest. Sort of northeast, but not that exactly.
Sort of northeast, yeah. Midwest, Maine,
Like up there,
Maine, California,
whatever.
Idaho, same thing.
It's all the same. And the movie opens up with Naru, and I'll jump in what Jack said. The second I saw her costume, I was kind of taken out a little bit. It's too clean.
She woke up in the dirt, and this is where she sleeps. This is where everyone's sleeping. They're sleeping in the dirt, and this woman, and it's not her fault, but it's whoever's made these choices, and it's every single one of the characters in the film. She had manicured nails. Her mom had makeup on, and not like the kind of makeup you'd find in the 1700s. Like, she had beauty makeup on. Her clothes were more pressed than any shirt I've ever gotten back from the dry cleaner.
But leather doesn't really wrinkle.
And this is when I paused the film. And I got real scared. And I said, man, I hope this is not a reflection of the meta of the way this whole movie is going to play out. And unfortunately, it was. For me, zero texture the entire film.
Nah, for me, once it turned night in the mud pit, that's when I'm like, okay,
that made no sense. She's walking around with like a hallucinogenic aspirin that somehow makes your body heat go to zero, where something that sees infrared can't see you.
Uh-huh.
When she was in the mud pit, I was like, okay, cool. Call out to the original. She's covered in mud. Maybe this is the first interaction we're gonna have. Nope. She does that scene that's in Last Action Hero where Arnold Schwarzenegger is covered in the tar pit and he wipes it off, and the kid's like, "How'd you wipe it all off?"
Tar
And
doesn't
she
sound-
was
Dude, tar
cleaner.
stinks to some people.
Dude, she was cleaner after falling in the mud than she was at the beginning of the
She
film.
was
And she was
not.
immaculate at the beginning of the
Ralph, you
film.
see,
She
Jack, you
swam in
see
the
her wash
river.
her hands.
She
Oh,
swam in the
please.
river. But
Kill me.
hold on.
Kill me.
When I look at a movie, I look at its context. So this is still a Predator movie. This is a movie where Alien has technology to see infrared, and Schwarzenegger fools him by covering himself in mud. Like, this is the movie. This is the world we're in.
You
So,
go
like,
back to that
I go
original
into
film, there's texture in every scene for days. Texture
Fair.
for days.
Fair, but you were talking about it doesn't make sense. You don't watch a Predator movie for it doesn't make sense.
But that's okay, that's fine. But that's established. It's in the canon. We
Yeah.
know Predator can't see through mud. It's his lead. You know?
So
Yeah.
covering yourself in mud makes more sense than something that can drop your body temperature.
But in an instant?
It's the
What
orange,
Yourself
plant?
in mud. It's
What
listen,
plant was that?
the
listen,
orange
Yes, it's
tattoo
made out.
or something like that.
once Schwarzenegger covers himself in mud, and I'm like, all bets are off with natural things that can do I mean, all bets are off here.
Okay.
Like, we can do stuff.
And what
And
about her like
can do stuff.
get over here, tomahawk?
That was pretty
She was
dope. I'm not gonna
practicing
lie.
that.
It was nasty.
pretty
though.
dope.
It was nice.
How many slides did we see in the film? In the first
It was like
10 minutes of the movie,
it
she
was
was
like
sliding
a clip
like
of Call of Duty, just
Yes.
slide canceling everywhere.
yes. That's exactly what it reminded me of.
I thought that part was awesome. I thought that was awesome.
I
It
thought
was, but how
good,
many
too.
times did she do it?
She took 2 steps and slid like 5 feet.
But it wasn't just like a small slide. It was like she slid from third base to home. Every time.
It's her
Guys,
gear. Her gear is
This
massive.
movie was whack.
This is
And it was just
this movie was not whack.
Listen,
Hell
I
no.
appreciated the casting. I
Hell
appreciated the
no.
idea of it.
If you
But
think
the
this movie's-
execution of it
if
was
you think-
poor.
If you think this movie's whack, then you watch the original with the rosiest colored glasses, the rosiest of all colored glasses. If you
At
think this
least
is
it was
whack,
fun.
this was. Listen, let's get to
right, let's
Jack,
get
you
into it.
tripping. You
Let's
tripping.
get into it. And
Predator was
that dog got a shower between every
Now, I
scene.
will say that dog had the shiniest coat for me living.
Come
off
on, man.
And
The fish
yes,
he ate. The fish.
that's a minor thing for me. Is the textures off. Like, and it's big. It is big. It sets up the world.
Yes.
But then there's a lot of movie left.
I was also confused with the way the subtitles were done in the film. I don't know if you saw it the same way I saw
Jack,
it, but it
what
said
the hell are you talking about subtitles?
Yeah,
you're,
like,
you're doing the thing. You're doing the thing when you don't like something, and then you nitpick
It
the
was.
hell
They
out
spoke
of
in
it.
French.
No.
They
Yes, the
spoke in
French was
French.
it was like subtitle French. I'm like, what are they saying?
Yeah.
Like,
But it was the same with the-
subtitle French. You had your captions
Yes.
on.
I did. So yeah, so I'm saying, like, what are they talking about?
It wasn't a real
Yes.
subtitle.
I want to know what they're saying though. Like they're just talking in French.
They weren't saying much. The French was mad basic.
But they did the same when they spoke in Comanche.
Kill the savage dog and blah blah blah. I translated some
When
of
they-
it loosely, but no.
When they spoke in Comanche, it said Comanche, and then it was written in Native American. And then when they said subtitles French, it was written in French. So you couldn't understand anything anyways. And then I was like, why are they talking in Native American Comanche and then talking in English?
So
Because it wasn't like they were trying to let us in to understanding their language. It was the way they kept doing it was like they're shifting from their language to English. But
No.
why?
I don't think so. I think what they were doing was they were trying to throw in Comanche words to make it seem authentic. But we assume that this movie, when they're talking, they're obviously
I
not
didn't
speaking
assume
English
that.
amongst each other. They're speaking Comanche.
They're speaking
Right.
Comanche.
But then
Yeah, I
why'd
got
you
that
throw it? But the way they threw it in felt so weird.
So, and subtitles.
It's not. If you've seen the 13 Warrior, there's a way where they transition you into understanding their language, where you're like, you feel like it's irrefutable. That's what we're hearing, even though we're hearing English. That was not at all what happened in this film.
But if we started with the Comanche, we saw Comanches talk to each other for the first 45 minutes of this film. So it's safe to assume they're not speaking English with each other. We just can understand what they're saying. And subtitles, these subtitles, if you're watching captions, that's done by Hulu. That's not done by the filmmakers necessarily. That's not the movie. That's like the platform that's when you put captions on, YouTube does it. We don't write our
Yeah,
subtitles, but we can put
sometimes
captions on.
they are just
They're
horrible with it.
wrong. Yeah,
They're
Netflix
so
Netflix and
horrible.
anime is off. So
I
it's
just
like
didn't
that's
under-
not the movie.
I just don't
So
understand why the other languages they wrote them in the other languages.
that may not be the movie. That might
Maybe
be
maybe to give us the same
Yeah,
foreign
from her
appeal
point
that
of
she
view.
felt. Yeah,
yeah.
I thought that too. I was like, well, it must be from her point of view. But they did the same thing every time they spoke Comanche. It was weird.
you need to brush up on your Comanche, Jack. That's the
Yeah, I
problem.
think so.
Really?
I feel like you're nitpicking and you're making it out like you're acting like the Predator was freaking Dog Day Afternoon. You're making it sound like the Predator is like the Matrix or something. It's a basic film.
I'm talking about this film.
No, you have to take the film in context to the world that it lives in, and it's
All right, let's push
it's a
on then.
prequel to the Predators. So, so we see her basically for her to be part of the crew. I forgot the name of it. She has to like kill a beast. She has to hunt. She has to hunt well. They all go out, and there's a lion that's on the land. They're going to get the lion. They're going to use her as bait. In the meantime, you see some stuff in the sky. You know, the Predator has touched down and things is going down. Lion comes out. She pretty much screws the pooch. She hesitates. She chokes and she gets taken back to the camp. She wakes up. Pretty much, she knows something's out there and she wants to fight it. Honestly, the premise of this movie is Nope. It's Nope. You have a brother-sister dynamic. If I go out there and slay this thing or tame this thing or get a picture of this thing, I make a name for myself, step out from the shadow. And it's like, it's Nope. It's very similar to Nope. It's almost like you don't have to go out there and do this. You don't
Except
need
for-
to.
She needs to complete that rite of passage. This is
Except
this
for
is
no-
her beast, not a lion,
Yes.
not a bear. This Predator.
Well,
She called it something. She called it something. She called it. It was like some like folklore thing, and then the guys were laughing at her like, "Ha ha!" You know that you're chasing after a children's story, foreshadowing all you guys are gonna die.
Facts. And there's not much really to recap here, so we can just jump in because you know the Predator's out there. She goes out there, and the Predator picks them off one by one. It's such an homage to the original. I think this is the second best Predator movie ever made.
Except he
brought it
doesn't
back.
pick them off one by one. He picks them off kind of all at once, except for her.
Because he doesn't
Well,
see her as a
brother-
threat. He sees
Right.
her as just
He has honor. He has honor, and he's here to find like worthy adversaries. And what the
Right.
details,
But
of
it's not.
him-
He doesn't pick them off one by one. He picks
Okay.
them off. He just decimates them, is what he does in the first setting.
he's
Well,
mad strong too.
He
He picks up a
chooses
bear over his head,
Yeah.
1,000-pound bear. It's like, bruh.
He's like,
nothing.
ah!
And
He
that's why I
chooses-
started saying that this 90-pound girl.
Okay,
was
we're gonna get to
taken-
that. That's my biggest issue. But he doesn't pick them off one by one, but he's strategic in who he decides to get it. Like you have to be worthy of being hunted. And what I love about the detail of the Predator in this movie is that he has so many weapons on him, right? But he doesn't use a weapon unless they use it against him first. So the animals is pretty much his spear, his like little shank thing from his wrist, his knife, and his brute strength. The second they introduced arrows at him is when he started shooting arrows. The second they started firing guns at him is when he brought out his other technology. When they wrapped a net around him.
Oh, and the net just
After that,
Yeah.
first they netted
Oh, that
him.
was
He's
sick.
like, okay, now I'm gonna net
I got you.
So it's like he is fighting a fair fight until they introduce something, and he's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I thought was like really, really
I did
cool.
think that the combat scenes in it was pretty dope, and her brother had some just sick combat when he engaged them when he was on horseback and then off horseback. Like, that scene was sick.
Yeah.
And he kept
That
like
was-
shooting him with the arrow and then re-grabbing it out of him and sliding,
Yeah,
shooting
that
him,
was pretty
and
sick.
grabbing
That
it out
was
of him,
dope.
shoot him again. That was sick. I was
Well,
like,
that's
God, dope.
that's what was cool about this, especially as opposed to the first one, where these people are used to fighting bears and lions. Like they're not equipped to take down the Predator, but they're still not a bunch of like soldiers with weapons trained to fight other men. So they engage with beasts, and you got to see them. They got some licks in on this dude. We saw a lot of green blood
Yeah.
throughout
Oh,
the
Oh yeah,
movie.
he got handed it to him.
And he's pretty feral, this predator. He's pretty prehistoric, so he doesn't have a whole lot of armor. He's pretty much butt naked in these
Like
streets.
they're pretty much rocking loincloths. They got like a few armor pieces here and there, but
He
for the
didn't
most
even have a
part, they're
chest
like,
piece, right?
no, I don't think this
Nah,
one did.
He had the
just like a bone,
skull.
like a bone helmet.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
the
was
Yeah.
trying to
twisted
figure out
skull.
which, because there's a subsect of predators that are called the bad bloods, and they augment themselves to pretty much change how they are so they can hunt better, which they're not looked favorably to from the main cast of predators. So I was trying to see, because he didn't look like, you look at all the alien movies, except when they introduced in the last Predator movie, the bad blood alien or bad blood predator, they all have like the same face. They all have the same facial structures until you saw
This
the
might
bad
have been
blood one.
also just not so great CGI on his face.
But I was
too.
confused how the Predator didn't know how his own weapons work sometimes. Like the helmet piece was so confusing to me because it was basically a tracking thing where if the red dot's on the thing, that's where my magnetic arrow shoots a red dot no matter where it is. And he drops his helmet twice in the film, and at the end of the film, spoiler alert, she uses it against him. But I'm like, the helmet's not on you, and you know that your red dot is not pointing what you think you're pointing at. Why do you think your arrow's going to go anywhere other than, whoa, where's my helmet? Where
Damn
is
it,
it
Jack! I
pointing at?
never saw that pothole.
No,
Why would he shoot it at all?
That makes sense.
But if he lost his helmet, then he may not think she has it, and she's using the tracking. He can still.
But
Probably
why would he
that
shoot a
shooter without
weapon
it.
that he knows is not going to work? And he does it twice in the film.
No,
It's your weapon. You know, you clearly know how all your weapons work.
It can work without the tracking. It just doesn't have tracking on it, right? It can
No,
work without
the
heat
arrow
seeking.
the arrow shoots wherever that red dot is pointed at.
But I think it can also shoot without the red dot.
We never see that. We only ever see
Yeah.
it shoot what red dots are pointed at.
But if he's going to shoot it without his helmet, that lets me know it can shoot without it. Because
I don't know. I'm just looking at the film they actually made. And the film they actually made, they only ever shoot the arrows when the red dot is on.
So you think he got confused? You think he thought he was wearing a helmet?
I have no idea. I was so confused.
What makes
I'm
more
like,
sense?
this guy doesn't know how his weapons work?
What makes more sense? He shoots an arrow that can use tracking or not tracking, or he got confused? Like, which
It makes
one
more sense that a
sense?
filmmaker sticks to the rules you establish in your film.
You can
This
fire,
is bad
you can
storytelling.
Fire,
It's bad storytelling.
You can fire a heat-seeking missile without the heat-seeking. You just fire the missile if you had point blank range. I got you dead to rights. I don't need to use my.
I don't know. I can only go off of what they actually showed me, and that's what they show me. They show me that
Yeah.
not only does the arrow shoot, he can actually separate the spread, which is new. Never saw that. It's retro tech. He could separate the spread to hit different objects, but he didn't know when he wasn't wearing his damn helmet that had his heat-seeking arrows.
I saw it differently. I saw that he doesn't need to use that.
Well, you'd have to see it differently in order to enjoy the film.
Jack, she's standing right in front of him. I think he can pull the trigger and hit the target without needing.
But he shot what,
the first time.
multiples? He shot like the first. He shot like 2, 3.
He shot all rounds.
So I'm thinking after the first one curves off, you're like, maybe it's a fluke. The second one is like,
now you're making sense. Now that
Something
makes
right
sense. Once the first one curved off, he should have said, "Uh-oh."
Yeah.
Maybe he's just gully, man. You know how no one just shoots one shot.
He's like, I'm emptying my clip.
No. There was no rapid fire shooting. It wasn't. He was just mag dumping. He was taking his time where he was like, that ain't happening. That one's not going. This third one's going to happen now. This third one's going to connect.
But he's like, I wonder why these aren't hitting my target. Odd.
Chris, here's my issue. Here's my issue right now with this.
Lawrence.
There's some movies you break down and you pull out all the flaws. You know when you're watching Predator. Like, what did you think you're watching? Like, that's like watching freaking it's Predator.
No, but I've never seen a Predator movie
because I love the damn movie. I love gratuitous violence. I love him pulling out heads, spine still showing. I loved her scorpion. Let me throw my axe, bring it back joint.
Yes,
she never used it in the fight.
Movie.
I kept waiting for her to use that in the fight. Never happened. She never scorpions anything other than trying to get herself out of a mud pit. That's the only time.
I think she hits him once in the last fight with it.
She never hits him and pulls it back and hits him. She never uses the weapon she made. She does not
After-
hit him, pull it out, and hit him. Doesn't ever happen in succession.
I'm gonna put a pause on that one because I'm not gonna say you're definitely wrong, but I'm gonna watch it again because you
I
might
remember
be.
her. I remember her hitting him with it and then like
Yes.
getting close and then pulling it out of him. She never
pulled
used
it out of him. She didn't pull
she
the
never
string.
used a rope. Yeah.
She never used a rope, man. She made a scorpion weapon and then never used it. Well, it was like, what the heck was the point of that? It was so she could pull herself out of the mud?
Say it with your chest, brother.
Still saved her life. Look. All I know.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. Go on, Lawrence, man. Save this movie.
The movie is dope. The movie's good. And if you've seen The Predator, you would like, I don't know what you think you're watching here. It's literally probably the best Predator movie except for the original.
Yes.
I mean, it literally is. Danny Glover, Predator, whack. All of them are whack. The last one is whack. This is good. And it puts it back in its element. She's back. It's a simpler film. They're in the woods. They're in the terrain. And the meta thing about it is like, who's the prey? Who's the hunted? And she literally didn't have to engage with this thing. This thing wasn't trying to engage with her. So it's almost like you're a jerk. She's a jerk. And she's a jerk. Like he was like,
yeah, but
past her.
he did kill her people. So when she doesn't recognize, even though he doesn't recognize her as a threat, you don't have to see me as a threat for you to do damage to me and my people.
He killed her people because she went out there and they went
drugged
looking
them
for her.
in there. Yeah, they went to go find her.
He was not looking at them like y'all were the threat that I came here for.
She was
Well,
being
you don't know. You don't know. He could, if she didn't go out there, maybe she'd been proactive. The way I saw it is their fate was inevitable. The predator was coming from them no matter what. So she just fast tracked it.
That might be true, but I feel like he would have went through them Frenchmen first. It would have been a whole lot of stuff that happened before he got to them, and they could have bounced. Because he's not hunting them like that. He would have looked at that little village and go like, "This is not worth it. There's freaking buffalo and bears
Too
here."
easy.
And if you watch the end, like, so you know at the end when she has the gun that says 719 or whatever on it, right?
Yeah.
You know the gun.
Yeah.
So at the end of the credits, you know how it's drawings and it kind of tells you the movie and drawing. By the end, when she goes back to her village with the predator head, 3 ships come out of the sky to her village, which pretty much them predators came down and laid them all to waste. Want to know how I know why they laid them all to waste? Because at the end of Predator 2 with Danny Glover, after he kills the predator in the ship, yes, the predator gives him a token. It's the same gun.
Yeah.
So
which
basically,
actually made me think the predators never win, man. Like they lose in every movie.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
just not very good.
Well, so I read a theory that these predators that come to Earth, they might be the bottom of the barrel of predators.
Clearly,
they're a warrior culture, so that they come to different places to try and test their skills. Maybe this is their rite of passage.
No, literally,
that's exactly what it is, though.
He was her equal. He was her part of her people. I have to,
and that was actually really clear in the film. And the meta of there's always a bigger thing, the story of the big stick. You see that play out right in the beginning of it, where the whatever eats the whatever, and the rabbit eats the whatever, and then the eats that, and then the snake kills that, and then the predator kills the snake, and you're like, all right, the whole movie is the prey. Whoever the hunter is always the prey to the bigger hunter, always.
Yeah.
Right, but I think the part of it that gets a little dark is that the animals kill to eat. The natives kill to eat. They wear the clothes. The predator's not wearing that bear skin. And guess what? When she sought out to kill that predator,
he's a trophy hunter.
Yeah,
but she also trophy hunted him because they're not eating him. They're
well,
not using him.
She trophy hunted him as a rite of passage, so she can prove that pretty much girls can do what boys can do.
No,
but essentially, it's what
tiger.
She killed him so he didn't decimate her entire tribe.
No, that's not why she went out there.
No,
she was there. She brought them out there, Chris. Yeah. She brought the tribe out there. She's the reason her tribe was decimated.
Oh, she also froze with the lion. He was like, "You're not ready."
Yeah.
So it wasn't.
And the brother was supportive, man.
Yeah.
And the brother even said, "Listen, you're the one who made it possible for me to get the lion. You weakened him. You took the shot. You just didn't follow through."
Yeah.
What happened to the brother though?
Yeah, too bad he died.
Yeah, what happened to
He
the
died.
brother?
Yeah.
Thanks,
I don't know.
sister.
You gotta take
She-
this movie for what it is. This movie, look, it's a lot of nonsense, but it's a
It's
good
the
freaking
Predator.
time.
It's the
It's a
Predator.
good time.
It wasn't
So-
any better or worse than the one with Adrian Brody, where they took everyone to the Predator's planet.
No, this is way better than
No,
Brody one.
I
Brody
say
one.
this is way better because you actually wind up
it
caring
way
about the
better?
characters. Yeah,
Yeah.
for me, like
That's maybe a little more interesting. Okay, I'll give you that.
It,
This is what-
it doesn't make the Predator a good guy either.
much like Nope. If the Predator never
The
came,
Predator was
and this
neither
was-
good or bad in this.
If the Predator never came and we just followed her in this terrain and her people, it would have still been a cool movie. Even
It
if
would have
he
been
never
whack
showed up.
because there was no texture.
Some of us don't care about dirty clothes. Okay, some of us gonna watch a movie with like we don't like that doesn't take us out. You know that, Jack?
All right.
Like the rest of the movie going world that isn't a cinephile like you can get past. Oh, their nails aren't dirty. They can
Cinephile.
get past that.
That's true. You're right. Okay,
You know,
I give you that
you're like
because
a
I
chef.
care about the cinema.
You do. You do. You're like a chef, man. You know that steak's not made right, and we're like, dude, we're at McDonald's. Like, get over it. This isn't well done. It's like, where do you think you are? And to
Yeah.
me, this movie is
The
much
Gordon
like
Ramsay of movie watching.
yes.
Yeah.
This movie's not Fleming's, man, but it's freaking In-N-Out Burger, and that's good enough for me right now. Oh, I'm sorry, Rich and Chris. This movie is Five Guys, and that's good enough for me.
I had In-N-Out Burger when I came
Oh,
out there. It wasn't
you
that
did.
great.
It's not that great.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not
not
that
that great.
But it's
Shake
not,
Shack is a superior burger.
It is, but it's not a Fleming's burger. It's not a $50 burger. No, and that's fine. I really enjoyed the fact that I cared about the character, and I feel like I haven't cared about the characters a whole lot in Predator movies. You know, not a whole lot.
Yeah.
Cared about the dynamics,
Yeah.
the brother sister relationship, like those things work for me. And the end, yes, Rich. This is the part that is like I wish it was more like Home Alone. Like she never actually engages with him. Like she just
Right.
sets up these traps and she uses the fact that she's small and she can't face him. But no, she like was doing some Mortal Kombat moves on him.
Bro, she got hit and thrown so many times. Like, what is not broken on her right now? Like, come on, what are we talking about right now?
Her
saw him-
spirit.
We saw him
Was
knock
not
out a
broken.
bear with a punch. Like he just
Yeah.
pop. So,
And then lifted
Yeah.
it straight over his head. Like, what are we talking about? Anyway,
so I wish the ending was more crafty, and it felt like it wanted
Pretty
to be.
sick how she
because-
cut his arm off, though. She was smart. Girl was sharp,
Yep.
Sharp.
and she was
Yeah.
paying attention.
I'll give you that.
Very observant.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Used everything she saw against them.
Uh-huh.
Very clever, this one.
What?
This guy's reviewing the Predator like it's the Godfather. Man,
Oh, man.
look, I enjoyed this film. I recommend it if you want a good time. I give this a strong 7. This is a 7 for what it is. It's a 7. If you go on in to
7.5
see
for me. 7.5 for me. I'm
Bro.
rating it. I loved it. I thought it was a great time. I had fun. I'm chasing stuffed animals after pretending we're hunting predators. I'm down. I love this thing.
Yo, you right.
How old is
Rich.
Sebastian?
4.
4. And that was my problem watching a Predator movie. The fact that this is actually I wouldn't have had any problem showing it to my 4-year-old if I had a 4-year-old. You know what I mean?
What's
That's
happening here?
So
I might. Sebastian's evolved. I mean, I think Christian
It all
will have
depends on your
nightmares
kid.
for the rest
You
of
know,
his.
All kids metabolize things differently. I knew
That's
he'd
true.
be all right with it.
Yeah.
I guess I give it a 4.5.
4.5? Man, I would
about
give
you,
it
Rich?
a max 5.5 6 maybe.
Hold
True.
on.
No,
I gotta take the
5.5.
calculator out to do the.
I'm gonna say
to do the-
5.5.
So 5.5, 4.5, 7, 7.5.
5.5.
Ooh, we are split. Splitsville
split.
on this one.
We're
Because I mean,
split still.
it was entertaining to a degree. If you, like I said, you look past the fact that this 90-pound girl just really decimated this guy.
It had the
And-
most interesting Predator.
Yeah, like I kind of cared about her, even though she was a troublemaker, and brought drama to the whole tribe, and got most of the fighting age males wiped out from the face of the earth, and now the whole tribe is filled with young kids, elderly folk, and her.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hope you survive when the
Well,
white man comes.
Also,
No
I
offense,
will
Jack.
say, well, I think we know the story to
We
that.
know how that
unfortunately.
plays out.
But nah, man. Like, if they would have listened to her too,
hold on,
they
real
would
quick.
might have
In the
survived.
French. I'm just like, wow. Do we actually need the whole French, like the fur trappers? Like, I feel like they just kind of just threw them in there.
They did. You need more gratuitous violence. So
There's more people for him to kill, Rich. I
Well,
think you're
then
missing the point of this movie, Rich.
we needed some of the white man represented.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
Thank you
you
very
can't.
much.
Oh yeah, you can't have a Hollywood movie without at least one.
I
of
mean,
them.
we had to see the buffalo just decimated.
Yeah, yeah, this like the most evil. Yeah, that's been on the
And
nose.
then,
Don't talk about on the nose. What are we at? Where are we at, Chris?
that leaves it at 6.1.
Just say a
that's
6.
probably
That's a
Just
six.
fair.
Just give it a
I
six.
think I think the 6 is fair.
6.
The 6 is fair. Look, this is our take on The Prey. If you're looking for a free watch, if you already have Hulu and you enjoy the Predator series, this is for you. If you think you're sitting down watching something that's going to blow your skirt up, well, this may not be for you.
Definitely wasn't for Jag.
So that's where we're at with this. But thank you so much for watching us give this review. You can subscribe right here. I'm pointing right there, and you can watch our other video right there. Thanks for the help, gentlemen. Thank you. The boxes are all around. Hey, we also got a podcast. Check out our podcast. We're on iTunes. We're on Spotify. We're on Google. Just type that in your Google machine and we will pop up. Check out the podcast. This review will be there. Plus, we talk about other fun geek stuff. You can check us out on Instagram. We're on TikTok. We are making it happen. Captain.
It's 3 brothers and a shot of milk. Brothers is misspelled, y'all.
Yes, it's 3. It's how it is in this YouTube channel. Just copy and paste that. But we'll see y'all next time.
Peace.
Peace.
Later.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to 3 Brothers and a Shot of Milk. We're talking